it comes to happiness, most of the times people look for some external factors. But experts say that happiness comes within, right? And some people think that happiness comes because of an event or because of particular milestone, so on and so forth. So likewise, everybody has their own perspectives. So today we are joined by a special guest, Yogesh Chabria, who is a globally renowned speaker, best-selling author, and successful entrepreneur who is celebrated for his transformative Happionaire Way and with a passion for inspiring individuals to unleash their true potential. Yogesh has impacted lives across over 100 countries through his dynamic programs and workshops. And his best selling books have empowered countless people, including women and children, with financial and personal growth strategies, earning him accolades and recognition worldwide. And today we are going to delve into an interesting topic at hand, which is about unlocking happiness, letting go of the past, and embracing your true self. But before we get into the topic, here is an exciting twist. Let us tickle Yogesh's brain. So, Yogesh, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. I'll mention a few, and I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response. If you're ready, let's get the ball rolling.
Sure. Thank you so much, Naveen, for having me, firstly.
Pleasure to host you. And before I welcome you formally, let's begin the first rapid fire round, Yogesh. So here comes my first word: happiness,
You,
curiosity,
life,
future,
present,
book,
read,
movie,
funny,
inspiration,
divinity,
universe,
within you,
role model,
mother,
leadership,
humanity,
and the last one is success.
do your karma.
To your karma. Amazing, spot on responses. And Yogesh, before I formally welcome you to the show, let me welcome the audience. So, folks, you have tuned into TGV, the Guiding Voice podcast series, which is one of the very few podcasts in the world that has crossed 500th milestone. And this is the world's only quadrilingual podcast at the moment, at the time of recording. And we embark on some transformative conversations for a better future. I'm your host Naveen Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place through valuable discussions that add value not only to your life but also to your career and one conversation at a time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yogesh, hearty welcome to TGV. Super thrilled to have you
Thank you.
part of our journey. And I've gone through your work. You have done some impressive and inspiring stuff. And it's really like a dream come true to have you part of the show.
Thank you so much, Naveen, for having me.
All right. So, Yogesh, let's begin with your success mantra because this is one question which I ask almost every guest so that our audience get inspired because whatever seems okay to be successful, right? It has not come overnight or within a year or something. It
Mm.
it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of efforts to get there, right? So, please share with our audience top three things that have contributed to your success so far.
So, Naveen, I look at, nature has a lot of learning. We can learn so much from nature. If you look at, if you are a gardener, I don't know if you garden or if you've ever planted. Have
Yes,
you? I can see some greenery in the background.
indeed.
Beside the statue. So if anybody, if you haven't, try it out. Try it out. If you want to create a garden, few basic principles. You plant the seeds or you plant the saplings, and along with that, you ensure. So you learn. Okay, if I'm planting a mango tree, what sort of soil is good, how much sunlight it needs, how much water it needs. You learn. Maybe you can go to somebody who's already built a garden, and after that you do a few processes. Okay, you can do organic composting, many things, and then you do it regularly. But even if you do it regularly, you will not get that mango fruit within 1 month or 1 year or 2 years. It takes 3 4 5 years, but you have to keep that process over and over and again, and you enjoy the process.
Yeah.
So you start enjoying the process. Okay, I'm gardening. I
Mhm.
might be working in a company, whatever I'm doing. I enjoy the process. After 3 4 5 years, you will start getting the fruit. It is the same with anything in life. Whatever you want to do, first have clarity. Okay, if you are in Hyderabad, what fruit will grow there? Will apples grow? You find out. And so, based on your surroundings, wherever you are, you find out what you want to do, what is in line with your skill sets, and then you invest in knowledge. So you learn, you got so many ways,
Yeah.
YouTube, your podcast. And then the process is of doing it regularly. So you start enjoying, as you know, in the Gita, Krishna says, you start enjoying the process. You start doing it, you do your karma. And then gradually you will get the fruit. If you plant 10 mango trees, not all 10 will become mango trees. Maybe 7 will, maybe 6 will. That's how.
Amazing. I love the metaphor of garden. In fact, for our 500th episode, also Dr. Raghu Krishnamurthy gave me similar metaphor related to garden versus the gardener, and he was using gardener as a metaphor for a leader who takes care of that particular garden. In case if the soil is not nurtured properly and if the plants are not taken care properly, right, then the tree might grow wilder, right? And I love the way you mentioned about, okay, it takes 3 to 5 years of conscious efforts before the fruits come into picture, right? Amazing. And yeah, I used to be an avid gardener during my schooling, especially during +2. And when we constructed our home, like every place I used to visit, it was almost like I used to search, okay, what is the new plant that I can bring from that particular place? If I visit a friend's place or something, I used to have a wish list kind of thing saying that all these plants should be at my place as well, right? So I used to do that with a lot of efforts and all. And once I went to pursue engineering and all, and slowly it faded away. But now, again, now that I'm almost like settled and now we have recently moved to a new home, I want to reinstate that particular thing. And I love the metaphor.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right. So let's move forward, Yogesh. So when it comes to the happiness, right? In the intro part, I mentioned people look for happiness outside. And as we realize in our lives, we get to know that happiness is within. So I would like to hear from the horse's mouth because you have done a lot of research in this space. So before we dive deep into the happiness part, definition, and so on, I would like to understand a pivotal moment in your life that significantly shaped your understanding of happiness. What is that eureka moment, or when did it all trigger?
See, Naveen, in life we learn as we go through our experiences. We are always learning. But I remember I was around 21 or 22, and I started meditating when I was 14. And I was sitting to meditate, and as I was meditating, I suddenly got this sort of feeling or sense. A word came to me, Happionaire, you know,
Ah, yeah.
Happionaire. Okay. The word came, and I had this feeling that everything human beings do, deep down, their search is for happiness. Everything. You might want to become a CEO. You might want to become famous. You might want to become rich. You might want to become powerful. But deep down, your search is not for that. You truly want to feel happy. And you feel if you become the CEO, or if you have a bigger car, or if you have a bigger house, or if you have a beautiful man or woman in your life, you will feel happy. And but deep down, the pursuit, or you want to experience bliss.
Yeah.
And that is when I went and I had that sort of feeling. And the thing is, you experience those things, because till you don't experience it, you will not know. So if you feel you need to, whatever, you need to buy a car, for example, or you want to buy a car, let us say you have a cycle or you have a bike, you should aspire and go and buy that car. Because after you buy that car, after some time, the car will not give you the same happiness,
Yeah.
right? So you should experience it, because then you will truly realize that nothing on the outside will give you the happiness. Let us say you feel another, a man or a woman will give you happiness.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, you fall in love, have a relationship, get married, but after some time you will realize that it is not that, because then you will be able to go in deeper, to really go within yourself and experience, that, oh, okay, what is it that I truly want?
Loved it. And I'd like to add on one point related to professionals, right? If somebody is aspiring to get a salary correction or a salary raise as such, right? And once the raise happens, the first time, the first month, the additional salary gets credited, people will be happy. And second month onwards, again, it becomes normal, right?
You get you get there is you get used to it.
Yeah,
You might increase your expenses further.
yeah.
So many things happen. In fact, there is another interesting study they did
Hmm.
with people who take part in Olympics.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so let us say you win an Olympic gold medal.
Right.
Okay, most people think the person who wins an Olympic gold medal will be happy,
Right.
right? But the person who wins the Olympic gold medal usually is miserable. The person who wins bronze is still happy. The person who wins silver is still happy. But the one who wins gold is miserable because that person, since he or she was a young boy or girl, aspired to win the gold. They worked, their energy went. Now they have won the gold. Okay, now what do they do with their life?
Yeah.
Because they feel that sense of emptiness. The person who won the bronze still can aspire for silver because
Yeah.
he thinks when I win silver, I will feel happy. The one who won silver can still aspire, but the
Yeah.
one who has won the gold feels empty. But out of that emptiness can come a new reality. So many times when people go through that phase of emptiness or confusion, out of that, something beautiful can come out.
Yep. This is so great. And Yogesh, let's now define this what true happiness is, and has this definition evolved over time through your experiences?
See, I'll tell you, Naveen, we can put any definition. It is like, do you swim, Naveen?
Yeah,
You swim.
I
Okay.
do.
I can tell you swimming is like that. You go in the water, you will feel nice. But no definition can replace the act of swimming, jumping in the water. So no definition can define true happiness. And I am not a philosopher. I am not an academician. It is just to be experienced. When you experience it, you will know it. And everybody, some moments you might have experienced it, and no definition can replace the experience. So you are in a flow. You are doing something, you are absolutely in a flow. You have lost your own identity, you are just one. It happens, sometimes people are doing something, music or even work or business or whatever, artists, surgeons, whatever, architects. You have lost complete identification with yourself. You are completely in a flow, a sense of oneness. Sometimes, especially if you are doing something, which is in harmony with your dharma.
Mhm.
So, it is like a bird. A bird should not be forced to swim. If everybody tells a bird, if you swim, you will become rich, you will become famous, people will take your photograph. No, the bird should fly. And the fish should not be forced to fly.
Yeah,
Fish should swim. So if you do what is in line with your dharma is your true nature.
yeah,
You will experience it in the most ordinary of tasks. Even when you are making tea, you can experience bliss. When you are sipping water, you can experience bliss.
super. Mind blowing. And now let's concentrate on the core of today's topic. So, what advice do you have for individuals struggling to let go of past traumas and move forward positively? Because people try to cling to the past, especially the bad or the worst incidents, and it takes time for them to come out of it.
So, Naveen, there are certain practices which is a form of catharsis,
Hmm.
letting go. These are techniques which we have developed which help you drop your past. So, for example, let us say you are holding on to anger. Let us say sometimes people are holding on to anger. Rationally, in fact, I was doing a session last night and somebody was telling me that she has worked, there are two teams in her organization, and her team did all the work, but the other team did not do the work, but is constantly trying to take credit. And if anything goes wrong, they blame her team. Happens sometimes.
Yeah,
So, and she says, I am holding on to a lot of anger. So I said, how many people are there in that team? So she said, there are six people in that team.
yeah.
Six people. You know, can your audience see me or it is only audio?
So they can see also.
So get a pillow.
Hmm.
Everybody in your audience, whoever is holding on to this anger,
Yeah.
get a pillow like this. Any pillow, small pillow. And I told her, write the name of your team members who you don't like, the opposite team, and then, when you are alone in your room, wherever, start beating that pillow. punching that pillow, shove it around, remove all your anger. You feel like screaming, you scream. You feel like shouting, you shout. Do whatever you want with that pillow. After 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes, your entire anger would have been released. Because mentally, sometimes people do it. Mentally, they feel, of course, in civil, in a organization, we don't want anybody to do that. But in your mind, sometimes people have all sorts of ideas, all sorts of language. They want to scream, they want to shout, they want to punch. So this is a way of releasing those repressed ideas. Because if you suppress it, it is still there within you. So I told her, and in the beginning, people are afraid, of hitting the pillow. But hit it hard, throw it around, shove it around. Remove all your anger. And after 10 minutes, you will have nothing within you because you have released it. And after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, depending on how much you're holding on to, you might even feel like laughing.
Yeah.
You would have exhausted yourself. You scream, you shout, you use whatever language you want. But that is one way. We
Yeah.
have many such techniques.
Good one. Good one. I loved it. Actually, it reminded one more thing which elders say, right? When you are angry, don't make decisions. And especially if you want to express your anger, don't do it immediately. Give some time. Maybe think, wait for a day or 2 days. And later on, if you still feel
Uh,
like expressing your anger, you go ahead and do it. Right?
Right.
Wonderful. And Yogesh, can you share a personal anecdote or example of how you have let go of a challenging past experience in case if you have any?
I feel every challenging experience that comes in your life is actually trying to teach you something. So when we are going through a challenging experience, it is actually a gift. The outside wrapper might not seem so nice, but deep within, there is some learning. I'll share something with you. I was around 28 years old and I was coming out of a meeting and I was with somebody. I suddenly blanked out and I collapsed. And there was somebody with me. They were concerned. I had been newly married. We went to the doctor. The doctor did some tests. The doctor was not able to pinpoint what is it, but he gave me some medicines. I took those medicines. But again, after 10 days, I again fell down. My right side, my arm was in cast. And I was forced in bed rest. So I kept my phone away and I started asking myself, why is this happening?
Mhm.
And I got an answer. When you ask yourself a question, truly you get an answer. And the answer I got was, I have been focusing only on one area of my life in the past 2, 3 years.
Mhm.
I've been focusing only on my work, and I don't have balance in my life. So even when I'm sitting, I'm having meetings at 2 in the night.
Yeah.
Uh, I am, when I'm eating dinner, I'm not present for dinner. I just decided to change that. So I threw away the medicines. I changed my life. Spend time in nature, brought in balance. And not only my health improved, my productivity at work also improved. Because now when I was working, I was focused on my work. So that is a personal challenge, which when I look back, I'm happy it happened when I was 28. Imagine if it had not happened till I was 68 or 78. I would have lived my life in a mechanical manner, in a robotic manner. So every challenge, if you look back at your life also, sometimes you face confusion. Sometimes you are in doubt. Sometimes you think, should I do this? Should I not do this? But out of that confusion, a new path comes out.
Yeah.
Arjun also in the Gita, he was confused.
Mhm.
He was facing a lot of confusion at the battlefield. He wanted to quit. He wanted to leave everything. He was confused. He was facing fear. He was facing anxiety. But had he not faced that, he would not have experienced the message of the Gita. You and me would not have experienced that message. So, out of every confusion, confusion comes out of intelligence. Only if you're intelligent, you can be confused. If you are not intelligent, you will not even be confused. You will follow.
This is a great reminder, and in fact, I have undergone similar situation last year on November
Okay.
14th. My younger daughter met with an accident, and she has fractured her left ankle. And typically, as I said earlier, right, I have a day job and I'm podcasting, so I try to make best use of my time. But during that particular day, I had about 4 hours of non-stop meetings, continuous back to back, and I was just thinking, what happened? And suddenly this particular incident made me think a lot, saying that work is not the only thing in life, right? There is something beyond. And I have cancelled all the calls that particular day, and I spent good quality time with my daughter for next 2 3 weeks when she was undergoing the bed rest and all. So that's a great reminder, and yeah, thank you for sharing that.
How old is your daughter, Naveen?
My younger one is 9 years.
9 years. Oh, I was about to ask you a little earlier. Are you married? Because you look very young. But yeah, right. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, and Naveen, it is not only when somebody is ill or injured. You bring in balance. No, see, human beings, just few thousand years ago, before
Yeah.
the industrial revolution happened,
Hmm.
we had a balance. Okay, you will work, you will plant agriculture, but after that, a large part of your time you spent with your family, with your tribe, with your members. You would laugh, you would sing. But after the industrial revolution, a sort of mechanism came into human beings, you
Hmm.
know so okay, what is the use of working 18 hours a day? The use of working 18 hours a day is only to buy that product which you have made. But are you really experiencing it? Is there, really joy? Okay, what difference does it make what phone do you use,
Yeah.
or what watch? So it is like you have put a rat on a wheel, and every time you tell that rat, if you run faster you will get a bigger phone, a bigger car, a bigger. But in the larger scheme of things, both the watches will show you the same time. Both the phones, can do the same thing. But what matters is who you are calling on that phone. What matters is what you use with that time. So I'm not saying don't work. Work is also beautiful,
Yeah.
but work with awareness, work with joy. When you're working, work with joy, and then your entire experience becomes joyous. It becomes a celebration.
Good one. Love it. Work with awareness. I think this is the quote which is going to stay with me for a long time. So, continuing on this conversation, okay, wherein people are getting hyper productive, or maybe they're focusing too much on the work, and because of societal expectations and chasing some big brands, be it watches, phones, cars, whatever it is, right? So, which means we are struggling to meet the societal expectations. Now, help us understand how can individuals distinguish between societal expectations and their true inner desires and goals.
See, Naveen, a large part of what you do is to show to people around you.
Yeah.
Not you in general.
Yeah, indeed.
So if your neighbor has bought a bigger car, you feel pressurized to buy a bigger car. If your neighbor or your cousin or your relative has bought a bigger house, you feel pressurized. Now that is external. But internal means where you start firstly understanding what is your true nature, your dharma. What is it that you truly, because life is a gift. This life is a beautiful gift. So what is truly in line with your natural instincts? With your natural instinct. For example, let us say A.R. Rahman is there. Okay. A.R. Rahman, when he was a child, let us say he was forced to become a doctor or a cricketer or an engineer. It is not in line with his natural instincts. His natural instincts is creating music. Now, if A.R. Rahman creates music, for him that music itself is a beautiful process. So the quality of work changes. Now, when he is working, he is not working for anybody on the outside. He is not working to get money, to get a Grammy. All those are byproducts. So, first figure out what is it that is in line with your dharma. If engineering is in line with your dharma, go completely into engineering. When you are creating that solution, become one. If sales is in line with your dharma, become one. When you are selling, think about the customer. Think how you can serve the customer. What best solution you can provide to the customer. Then the customer senses it. The customer says, no, this person cares about me. Then you will closing that deal or getting that commission or getting that promotion is a byproduct of the work.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it is bad to have a bigger house. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you focus on the process of your work, when you start enjoying what you're doing, all those things become a byproduct. So you are not attaching your work to that promotion, to that commission. If it comes, very good, you celebrate it.
Got it. And Yogesh, let's talk about the Happionaire Way. How has it impacted the lives of people worldwide, and what kind of feedback have you received from participants? I know it is creating wonders in lives of thousands and
See,
millions across the globe. Yeah,
Naveen, see, I mean, I am a very simple person. I just share.
yeah,
And over time, over now, almost 20 years, it has grown because, let us say, we share something, we have our programs also online, offline, retreats. Now, let us say somebody came and with some of our practices, she can sleep better. There was a lady, she said, I can sleep better. We have a guided audio of around 20 minutes. So she says, I can sleep now. I had not been able to sleep. I used to take pills. Now I can sleep. And she will share it with somebody else. If
mm,
somebody cannot sleep, they'll come. Or somebody was unable to do something, they had fear holding them back. Some of the practices, we shared a small practice, of letting go of anger, for example. So we have developed these practices. And if you do them, you get a benefit, you share. So that is what it is. I look at our life as a life where if we share what is good without caring, what the other person will think or do, just share from your heart, automatically magic and miracles start happening.
yeah, superb. Yeah, in fact, it resonates with my vision of shaping the careers and lives of billions across the globe, right? I don't really concentrate on numbers. I don't concentrate on the monetization part. As long as one person can change after listening to this particular conversation or
Yeah.
episode, and if I get some feedback, right, that makes me so happy, so elated, and all. So I can totally resonate to what you are saying, and I'm kudos to you on the success of this particular program, and most importantly for impacting people's lives, right? So that is where we both are aligned. And
Yeah.
let's move to my next question. Again, I think you have addressed the European Parliament, which is not a small thing. So, what was your vision when addressing the European Parliament, and how do you believe a globalized world based on meritocracy and holistic values can be achieved?
See, I share this message everywhere. If we look at everyone as one,
Hmm.
a part of, we are all one. That is what non-duality, advaita says. And if I and you look at each other as separate, I see Naveen and Yogesh are separate, then we will have conflict, we will have arguments, we will have wars. If there is a piece of bread, we will fight over the piece of bread. But if I and you look at each other as one, we will collaborate, we will work together, we will share this piece of bread, and we might have discussions, okay, how can we plant more wheat, how can we share, how can we help each other. And that is what the world needs. See, I and you will go to war only if I am unhappy.
Yeah,
But if I am at peace with myself, if I am in a state of love, if I am in a state of joy, why should I go to war with you? We can live together, we can help each other, we can work together. If I know something, I will share with you. If you know something, you will share with me. And when we start doing that, the world becomes more beautiful. If more people start planting gardens, if you have planted a garden, which you said you had, the garden, the tree has so many fruits.
yeah,
It has fruits for the birds, it has fruits for the people. And sometimes people shoo away the birds. No, let the birds also eat those fruits, because those birds will drop those seeds somewhere else. It is a part of the ecosystem. Those birds will be natural insecticide. They will eat some other insects. So if we start looking at each other as one, a common oneness, and even science says that, quantum physics says the same thing, that, at a subatomic level, there is no difference. It is the same. We are made of the same elements. The universe is made of the same matter.
nice. I loved it. The message is clear, very simple, and yet powerful. Amazing. So I'm loving this conversation and enjoying every bit of insights that you are sharing, and especially uh, the calmness and the composure that you are maintaining. Right, I think I have to reach there someday, for sure. So with that aspiration, let's add some excitement to the episode. I'm going to kick off the second rapid fire round just to spice
Uh,
up the episode further. If you're ready, let's get started, Yogesh.
Sure.
Okay. Here comes the first bullet. If you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
Gigantic billboard. I would just say, look within.
Look within. Wow. Intriguing. One book that changed your life.
There are so many, but if you ask me for one, I will say the Gita. And the message of overcoming your fear. One of the messages of the Gita is overcoming your fear and, doing what you're meant to do.
Mhm. Superb. Somehow I was guessing that you might answer Gita, but
Oh,
okay, here comes the next one. Can you describe yourself in just one word?
consciousness.
Consciousness, and the most inspiring person that you have ever met.
So many, every person, sometimes I meet a father, a mother, they are doing everything for their child. They are facing every challenge. I think everybody, if you look at humanity with new eyes, everybody can inspire you.
Mhm. And what is the biggest misconception about happiness?
That having things will make you happy, that happiness is somewhere in the future, that when I achieve, when I become a CEO, when I become this, that I will be happy. Now it is right now, this very moment.
Okay, here comes the next one. What is the next big goal you are aiming for?
you know I aspire to have, because I have been doing this now for almost 20 years. I want to build a group, say a volunteer group, that can help us spread our message, our techniques to more people. And besides just companies or corporates, I want this to reach more people.
Yeah.
So I am welcoming anybody, with any sort of skill, if they want to volunteer, if they want to share, I just share from my heart. I don't understand. And today's world, I see, there is so much analytic, so many, because I am not an engineer. So I would like people with those skills to help us reach our message to more people.
Absolutely. I'm sure you will get nominations from TGV family and the community.
I would love it. Yeah. Because these are such, sometimes I feel, why should this person be miserable in anger?
Yeah.
Why should this person be stuck in past resentment or past guilt when there are simple tools? It is like today, if a dog bites a child, you know, the child does not have to die of rabies because there is a rabies vaccine.
Yeah.
Similarly, why should people suffer with anger, with hate, with resentment, with past shame or guilt? So many times people have past shame or guilt. And until you are in that state of shame or guilt of your past, you cannot experience joy. Fear, letting go of your fear, your life can be so beautiful if you let go of your fear.
So, Yogesh, what is one thing that you cannot live without?
One, oxygen. Everyone cannot live without oxygen.
Smart answer. I loved it. And here comes the last one for rapid fire. What is one electronic gadget that you like to see or invent yourself?
Electronic gadget, I would
Yeah.
like to. That is a very tough one. I would not like to invent any electronic gadget. I would like people to, if you're listening to this, try this out. Remove your shoes, take a walk on the grass, on the mud, and just hug a tree. You will feel so beautiful hugging a tree. When was the last time you hugged a tree? And
Hmm.
tree, nature is Mother Earth. Just connect.
Yeah.
Leave all your I think there are already too many electronic gadgets in people's lives. Leave them aside for some time.
I loved it. And in fact, I started walking with bare feet for about 9 months now. And I'm enjoying the benefits. And
Oh,
only
where
thing
do
is, I think I
on
have to hug the tree.
hug the tree? Try hugging the tree. Just keep your gadgets away. Just feel the tree.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. A lot of healing energy.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Superb. I mean, let's flip back to the mainstream. And before I let you go, this is a kind of last question. So, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs and leaders who are just starting their journey in general, like anything either related to happiness or anything?
Drop your ego. Your ego will stop you, because if you have an ego, you will be afraid to ask for help. You will think you know everything. You will think that you are the know it all. But if you are a leader, if you are running a business, the moment you bring in humility, the moment I bring in humility, I can ask you, can you please help me? Sir, I do not know everything. I need your support. I need your guidance. Sometimes, even when you go to a customer, you're starting out, you have a solution. If you drop your ego, you say, sir, I am starting out. I have created this product. I have created this solution. I have created this service. I want to help you, but I do not know how exactly I can help you. This is my product. This is my service. This is what we do. Can you guide me? Can you help me out? What are the challenges you are facing? Maybe I can help you. Now that changes entire conversation. You say, I will be honest about it. Then they will give you feedback. Then they'll tell you, this is what somebody else is offering. So then you are able to connect at a deeper level. But the moment you have an ego, and I've seen so many entrepreneurs, so many startups fail because of a big ego, a humility. And if anything you're doing, if you have an ego, you will fall hard. If you are grounded, you will fall, but then you know that you can get up. You will have people whose help you can ask. But if you have an ego, you will not even have the courage to ask.
Simply love it. And this is one of the finest conversations I've ever had on the platform. So I've interacted with people like Ruben Gonzalez, Marsha Reynolds, Radhakrishnan Pillai, E.J. Snyder. So one thing what I noticed in all the successful leaders, including you, is you guys are humble and you guys are approachable, and there is simple message but yet powerful. And Yogesh, really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule and joining
Thank
me
you.
with our audience and sharing your insights. And I'm looking forward to hosting you many more times in future. And
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. So
Thank
before
you.
I let you go, how is your experience being hosted on The Guiding Voice?
Thank you very much, Naveen. Thank you for a beautiful conversation. You also have a natural gift in sharing, and may you continue doing whatever you're doing. May you be blessed, your family, you, and keep sharing what you're doing. And best of luck to you, Naveen.
Thank you so much, Yogesh. Means a lot. And I wish you
Thank you.
and the entire Happionaire team as well the best. And folks, before we get into the trivia section, here is a call to action. Request you to reach out to Yogesh's team in case if you would like to volunteer for spreading the Happionaire way, because it has loads of beautiful tools which have the potential to transform the world one person at a time. So I'm going to publish all the information which Yogesh's team is happy sharing in the show notes. Go ahead, check it out, and let us make this world a happy place to live. Thank you once again. So, friends, that was our episode with Yogesh Chabria. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request. In case if you haven't already subscribed to The Guiding Voice, please subscribe to TGV from wherever you have tuned in, because subscribing keeps you updated on new episodes and you cannot afford to miss one. So if you have enjoyed the conversation and found it useful, please share with at least three of your friends or colleagues who would also like TGV, The Guiding Voice, to spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you. Now let's hop into the trivia segment. Having had amazing conversation about happiness and whether happiness is influenced by external factors or materialistic things, or whether it comes within. Okay, that is all human related, right? So I thought I would present you few lesser known facts about how animals express happiness. Interesting, isn't it? The first one is rats. Rats emit high frequency giggles when they are tickled or playing, which is considered a sign of happiness. And these sounds are too high pitched for humans to hear without special equipment. Second is cats. Cats often knead with their paws, pushing them in and out against a soft surface. And this behavior is typically a sign of comfort and contentment, reminiscent of kittenhood when they needed their mothers while nursing. And third is cows. Happy cows sometimes jump and run around, and a behavior known as pronking or frolicking, especially when they are released into fresh pasture. Next, dolphins. Dolphins chirp and jump. Dolphins express happiness through a series of chirps, clicks, and whistles. They also leap and do aerobatics in water when they are joyful. And the last one is about rabbits. Rabbits express joy by doing spontaneous jumps and twists in the air, known as binkies. So these behaviors actually provide a glimpse into the unique and heartwarming ways animals show their happiness. Okay, so before I let you go, I would like to understand what are you doing to be happy, or have you already found your happiness within? So do let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts, your feedback, And that's it for today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome TGV family. And we would love to hear from you. So do not hesitate to share your ideas, feedback, guest speaker suggestions, and most importantly, topic recommendations either through our social media platforms, or you can also email us at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com, 4 as in digit 4 and you as in letter U. And let's create content that resonates with you. I'm your host, Naveen Samala, a lifelong learner, and my goal is to have impactful conversations that improve not only your life but also your career, and one conversation at a time. So until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember, the future holds great things because the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another amazing guest.